Right, I'm gonna have a get a stuff done day today because I've been out quite a lot and been away at the weekend as well. So I've just got comfortable clothes on. I've got my mint green top on and just my black jogging bottoms there. So I keep saying this, I like to be comfortable. This is actually a charity shop top. Don't know where it was originally from because there's no tags in it, but I remember I only paid like 49p for it, I think. So it's just nice to look a little bit decent but comfortable. I am waiting for my Iceland shop to come. That may be in a separate video, and at the present time I have actually just stripped my bed. My washing of my bedding is in the washing machine, and so as I've said before, I want to get that on the line, get it dry and put it back on the bed. I do like that white with the sort of reddish flowers on my bed during the nice weather. It seems lightweight and it looks lighter as well. So follow me along on my day. Right, excuse the noise in the background because I've got my washing machine on. Just after, or not long after I did the introduction, my food shop's come from Iceland. I've decided I will put this in a separate video, so this will either go up before or after this video, but I just thought I'd put that out there. It was really weird. I mean, I did start straight away this morning. Hubby left at 6:15 to go to work. My son left at 7:30. So I did things in between. I get up near enough the same time as hubby because I like to do the packing up for both hubby and my son. And I am a morning person, so I like to get things done first thing, especially if I am going out. But I am having a stopping day. We're not too bad in the lounge. I've managed to keep that tidy. Yes, I have got my laptop there. I was trying to get through some comments this morning while I was having my morning coffee. So, but we have got the other laptop case there because that's got the PlayStation 4 that's got to go back on the shelf. But my son did bring his Xbox down over the weekend when we wasn't here, and he's got his again over there. So we've got a few laptops and game consoles around, but otherwise everything is fine. I did get this lovely card last week for my in-laws, son and daughter-in-law. Happy anniversary. It was our 31st wedding anniversary last week. Can't believe it. And hubby's excuse is you get less for murder. I wanted to include, this is one of the cards that I made, as I say, out of my stash with the little pearl hearts. This is the card I gave to hubby. As I said, I'm trying my hardest. I've pretty much kept to it that I haven't actually bought any cards at all. I've made all of them. It's just, it sort of helps me de-stress, as I said, because I love card making. It also can be quite reasonable, especially if you've got all the materials you need. As I said, I got this out of my card box and I kept it ready for our wedding anniversary. Now, I'm sure he won't mind. Now, this verse inside that I've written, it's not my own words. I just want to put that out. I got it out of a book, but it fit the occasion all the time. Now, when I make the cards, I don't normally write anything in them. I wait to the occasion because some of them can be used for thank yous, birthdays, whatever, or just a note. So I don't very often write in them. But this verse really did touch me, and it just seemed to say what our relationship is. And here it goes. To my darling husband, you always there each time for me. When everything goes wrong, you cheer me up and make me laugh. You keep our marriage strong. You're my best friend, my husband, my lover, and much more. The man I love so very much, the man that I adore. I'm so glad that you asked me years ago to be your wife, the one to share your hopes and fears, the one to share your life, and at this special time of year, there's nothing more to say than to wish you all you wish yourself on our anniversary. So I just had to put that out there, because it just said everything about my partner. I mean, I have known him since I was 18, and he is my soulmate. And we've learnt through the years, you have to be diplomatic. You have to sort of take each of your opinions into account and your feelings. That's all I can say out there. We've learnt along the way, yes, there can be disputes, but we've tried our hardest, and most of the time I would say, I'm sure you won't mind me saying this, we have actually come to a mutual conclusion. Pros, cons, benefits, concerns, if it's something especially to do with money or a bigger item purchasing. But the main thing I would say in our relationship that's really helped and has always been there is to talk things through. Now, there has been the odd occasion that I will step back if there's something I'm not sure about. I do not like to say things, if I can help it, to any member of the family when you're upset. You say things that you don't necessarily mean or regret. But me and hubby, we bounce ideas off each other. We're just there for each other, and I can't say any more without getting really upset and mushy. As I said, he keeps saying you get less for murder, even double murder, but I'm sure he's always says that to everybody, every anniversary, especially after the 25-year mark. But, you know, he's there, and I love him to bits. Right, I've got my bedding out on the line. Again, it's clouded up, typical. And I did some of my lights. I've got my some of my tops that I've been wearing. I am going to shut the door because it is noisy, because said a lot of the places have got scaffolding up on council owned properties, because I believe they may be doing all the guttering, so there's quite a few. I mean, we do actually own our own home, so they've got their guttering done. Yeah, I'm about to put my bath mats on now, and towels and the mats and everything like that. I don't know whether I just repeated myself. For some reason, my mind is going a bit doolally, I think, today. So I got my food shop put away, which is in a separate video. That possibly will be going up before this video, so look out for that one. And I've got quite a lot of jobs to do. It is actually forecast rain this afternoon. There's a 30% chance of rain. So I'm wanting to try and start the hedge in our front garden. I keep putting it off, and every time I go back to do it, it rains. So even if I get a little bit done and get it started, it is a big job. Sometimes I try and sort of get a family member to help me do it, because when we get three of us, my hubby, my son and myself, doing the front garden, it can be done within an hour. If I'm doing the hedge, it could take me 2 or 3 hours just to do the hedge without the lawn and any weeding. So we shall see. But and it's supposed to be raining tomorrow as well, so we'll see anyway. So I'm going to get on, and I'll take you, as I said, along with me. I'm sorry if this bit of footage is a bit dark. It keeps clouding up. Some will come up briefly and then it will go in. It is forecast rain, as I said, but I've decided to at least spend an hour to try and get a bit of a hedge done. Even if it's just an hour, at least it be a start. So here we go. Here is the state of our garden. We have done the lawn a couple of times, but it just seems to grow. The hedge hasn't actually been done yet this sort of time of year, so I'm going to get that done. Excuse any noises that may come in due to, again, as I said, work's being done on the different properties. Right, I just want to explain something. When the weather's a little bit dodgy, or when it's this bad, the hedge, I tend to do it in sections. So I clear up as I go along, especially as we are forecast rain. Whether it will or not, I don't know. But the main thing is making a start, which is what I've done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sweep outside our hedge and clear up this part. Then I will probably start a little bit more of the hedge and just see how it goes. Right, as you can see, I just completed that small section. I'm not going to video the rest. I will show you my progress, how far I get today. As you'll find it really boring. I'm just having a drop of Coke, and then I am going to continue with the hedge. So I'll show you when I've finished. Right, I've just done another little section. It is getting really warm. I know when to stop and take a break. As I said, if hubby or my son, they can do it in one go. I have got a few medical problems, so I just have to be that bit more aware. Plus, it does get heavy. It is a powerful cutter, as you've probably seen in the clips. It can get heavy. After a while, I can feel it on my shoulders and obviously my arms shaking. And I like to get this done between the schools. A couple of reasons for this is, one, I try and be aware if anybody's pushing buggies with little babies and toddlers, startling them or waking them up. Another reason is we have had a few incidences, especially teenagers. We've got academy not so far away actually, and this is a public walk path, if you've realised. And as you can see, I have that big white bag. I use those because hubby and my son will then be taking it to the tip. We only get our grass cuttings picked up if you actually email them. I'm trying to see if this is still the case, but very often when you contact them, it's 2 or 3 weeks before you get a pick up, and it's a maximum of 10 sacks. I can easily fill that, if not more, just doing the hedge, especially on the first cut. So my son and my hubby will be taking it to the tip hopefully this weekend. My son is working Saturday, but maybe Sunday, I'm not quite sure, but they said they'll try and get it to the tip anyway. Going back to teenagers, yeah, I was out there once and running a bit late, and I had my back, and 2 incidents happened. This was some time ago, mind you, and I did complain to the school. First of all, someone jumped right at the back of me and screamed at the back of my head. I'm literally, as you can see, this is what I mean. This is it. It's a powerful edge cutter. Made me jump. Luckily, I kept it down like that and didn't move until I found out what the problem was. But obviously, it made me jump. They thought it was hilarious, and I said that wouldn't be if someone got cut with the hedge cutter. Secondly, when this was going on, 2 others emptied the whole of my grass bag all over the public path, and then they just ran off. They thought it was so funny. Could you imagine when you spent that much time and you're getting tired and they just do things like that? I mean, this is what upsets me. I think half of the time this is my stress levels. It got very bad at one stage that I wouldn't even be out here unless I got one of the guys here, even if they weren't out there. For a time they came out, but as long as they were there. Another thing is the edge cutter. When I am not using it, I don't just put it down normally outside. I actually bring it into the house and just lay it on a mat in the hall. I won't leave it out there. One, in case, I don't know, I'm having a drink or something, someone can snatch it. I mean, I'm not the fastest of people. I am trying to lose the weight. I have lost a bit. I did lose a lot of weight. Then I had medical problems. I had bad problems with my knee for about a year and a half. I still do. So I started putting a bit more weight on. I'm trying to balance it out. It looks like the breeze is just picking up, so I'm going to keep it high on the weather. I've actually done a part of the hedge, I'll show you in a minute, and a sweep, and I've raked this part, the grass part. So I'm doing it in stages because last thing I want to do is fall ill or get dizzy, especially holding something like that. So let me just show you the next bit I have done, if you can see that. It doesn't look much, but it is time consuming. The guys can do this in a matter of minutes. Me, it takes longer, and yes, if I've got all day, it will take me all day probably just to do the hedge, but if I get the hedge out, mowing to me is nothing. I love mowing grass, as long as it's not too long. The only thing is, looking at this, we have got another mower. I forgot about this. I was just about to say, because I've got 2 mowers in our shed at the moment. One's going to my son's. I was just about to say it needs altering, and hubby showed me how to alter them, but I've remembered now we've got our other mower, a newish mower to us anyway. I got it off Marketplace, and it's just like a lever. So it's none of this unscrewing the bolts, taking the wheels and edging them up, so that shouldn't be a problem. I love mowing grass, I really do. I don't know, I find it so satisfying. Hedge, not so much. It's not my worst job. My absolutely worst job is cleaning the oven, and very often I can delegate that to hubby. It depends on how bad it is. We try and use natural products, but sometimes you just have to use, because Mr. Muscle used to make me really ill, and used to make me sick. So I usually get out of doing the oven. I think that's one of the only jobs, cleaning jobs, I probably pretty much, oh, and the upstairs windows. Not that it's a job I don't like. The outside of the upstairs windows, I can do most of the windows inside myself using my little step ladder, my little step stool. I'm a short person. Put it politely, I won't say what my family call me, but a short A. But I take it in good, good form. Sometimes I think it can be a bit of a bind for them, because why should I, if they're here, why should I get a ladder or a stool out or something when I can just shout and say, hang on, anybody available? Can you get this down from the cupboard? But I try and put things higher up than what I don't use, as I say, using the warm, hot and cold method. Right, I've had my little break. I've had another sip of Coke, and I shall get on. I'm hoping, I'm not sure what the time is. Let me just move my door so I can have a little quick look. Right, it is now, well, it's not too bad. It's only 12:15, and I did have a something to eat again before I started. I have actually been on this already 3/4 of an hour, although you can't tell how much I've done. It doesn't look anything. I mean, the guys would have had this done, but they work long hours, and I thought, well, I don't know, I can make a start and see how far I can get. As I say, they keep threatening rain. It gets to about early to late afternoon, and we then have a shower. Do excuse the state, you can't help it when you do things like this. I'm quite warm at the moment. So again, I'm going to have another sip of drink, and I'm going to get the next section of my hedge done. Right, I've just finished the hedge. It's not brilliant, but I'm pleased with what I got done, and I'll show you. So it's what, 1:20, which isn't too bad. I started at 11:30, so I'm glad I got that done. And here is the hedge. I did practically fill 2 of those white bags, as you can see. I commented to actually a neighbour as she was passing. It does look like someone's had a bit to drink, because as you can see, we're going woo. But I'm pleased with it. It's the best job I can do. It does need a little bit of work on the bottom of the hedge, especially on the outside. I'm not sure if the mole will cut this. I'm going to have a go without it being trimmed. If it does, then I will do that. Hell of a lot of weeding, as you can see, and tidying up. It does look almost like a jungle. But once the lawn is done, at least it looks a lot better. So I'll see if I can get that done before the schools finish. it's now started to rain. So what I've done is I've took the mower and put it back in the shed. I put it on its highest setting. I've done that part. I haven't done this part. I wasn't going to risk it because if it suddenly had a downpour, I hate, or you shouldn't use electrical equipment when it's raining. And I also use an extension lead because this mower has actually got a shorter cable. So it was right, it was forecast rain. It might be just a drizzle shower. It is 5 to 2 at the moment. I just looked at the clock because they did forecast showers about 1 o'clock. So it was correct. It may just blow over, but I got the hedge done, so I'm pleased with that. It would have been nice just to got that bit of the hedge, that bit of the lawn done. As I said, it's not on its lowest setting, it's on its highest, just to skim over and take a majority of the grass up. And because of the drizzle of the rain, this is what I've blended up. Happening in the hall, I've just basically put everything down here. I'll wind up like the extension lead and the cable extension for the edge cutter, and then if it doesn't downpour or it blows over, I will then go and put all this back in the shed. Right, at 10 to 7 I did actually mow this part of the lawn on the high setting, then I put it on a middle setting and did this part again and all this. So at least now the hedge and all the lawn is done. Just needs a lot of weeding doing. Hopefully tomorrow, although it is actually forecast rain all day tomorrow, that is the only reason why I did actually come out again this evening just to mow the lawn. Yeah, before I say anything else, excuse any noises outside. It is warm upstairs, so we've got all our windows open. We did have a bit of a drizzle, but the grass was bone dry, so that's another reason why I decided to mow the lawn. Normally I wouldn't have started mowing the lawn again nearly 7 o'clock in the evening. Weather forecast is rain all day tomorrow, as I said, so I'm hoping it's wrong so I can do some weeding. Both the guys said that they'll get rid of all the grass cuttings and everything over the weekend, which is great. So I've had my bath. I've got my PJs on. Just wanted to freshen up. Got to make the bed now. Got dinner on. Dinner's going to be really late tonight, but at least it's cooking now, so at least that's something. The guys are watching some car programs downstairs. Again, if it vibrates or you can hear it up here, I do apologise, but it is their TV selection now, so that's what they're watching at the moment. While dinner's cooking, obviously I want to get the bed made, so I'm going to get on. So here we go. that is the bed done. I have now about finished for this evening, or for the whole day actually. I've got to obviously dish up dinner and get that cleared up tonight. But I'm going to finish the video here. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.